Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Walker, and today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the outreach and workforce training initiatives that we've been working on at the Symbiota Support Hub. Just briefly, here's an overview of what this presentation is going to cover. So I'm going to talk to you about just an intro to Symbiota and intro to the Support Hub in case you're not familiar. I'll talk about our portal advancement campaigns. What are they? What are the goals of these events and what are their structure? We'll talk about some of the things we've accomplished through these campaigns with our community members to date, and then I'll wrap up with some concluding thoughts for now. So who are we and what do we do? The Symbiota Support Hub is a team of 9 based out of Arizona State University. We come from a variety of backgrounds, and together we represent a team of developers, bioinformaticians, data and collections managers, IT specialists, curators, and in some cases, data users. And while I'm the one speaking to you today, I want to acknowledge that this work is a collaborative effort for our team, and in particular, Katie, Jen, and Samantha have also been especially active in the Support Hub's outreach and community training activities. So the Symbiota Support Hub is the 6th domain of IDIG-Bio. We're part of IDIG-Bio's Sustaining Phase 3, funded through 2026. And if you're not familiar with IDIG-Bio's structure, you can think of IDIG-Bio as a pie, and we are slice number 6. We are the newest slice of that pie. We are funded to do some very specific things for Symbiota portal communities. Specifically, we provide help desk support for our data user or for our portal users. We provide documentation and create documentations for Symbiota community members to help them learn how to use Symbiota. We're also responsible for designing and implementing a sustainable business plan for the Support Hub. And then what I'll be talking to you about today specifically relates to how we host webinars, trainings, and workshops to improve capacity within the Symbiota user community. In case you're not familiar, we'll talk a little bit about what is Symbiota. Symbiota is open source software for creating themed data portals that help people share and actively manage biodiversity data. Practically speaking, this means Symbiota is a database. When it's implemented, it's a collections management system. It's a biodiversity data aggregator. It's also open source software. So if you go on GitHub, you can see the code for Symbiota. And if you're a software developer or just curious, we encourage you to go check it out. When Symbiota is implemented, it turns into themed portals with user communities that coalesce around common goals. Usually these goals are digitization related or related to data mobilization. Our portals are typically taxonomically and or geographically themed, usually institutionally, sometimes they're institutionally based or project based. And if you're curious to see the full Symbiota portal directory, that is available on our website. Because of how Symbiota lends itself to themed digitization activities, over the past decade, a number of TCNs have relied on this software to help advance their digitization goals. So in 2021, when the Hub was founded, it made a lot of sense that assisting these TCNs would be a significant part of our mission. So we had to come up with a strategy for doing exactly that. So for anyone who's watching and has participated in a TCN, you're probably familiar with the general series of events where a TCN is funded. There's a flurry of digitization activity for like 3 to 5 years, and then the activity starts to wind down as the money runs out, sometimes leaving participants to wonder, how do we keep some of this momentum going? So our answer to this is what we've called the Symbiota Portal Advancement Campaign series. And so these events have some specific goals, and basically a lot of them are related to TCNs. So reinvigorating completed TCNs, assisting sunsetting TCNs with their lingering tasks, and facilitating digitization goals for active TCNs that use Symbiota. We're focusing on providing technical support and facilitating community engagement all at once when we run these campaigns. The target audience for these events are editors and administrators of collections data in Symbiota portal communities. Typically, this would be collection managers, curators, sometimes very serious volunteers, and students. And I want to point out that even though the idea behind this was to help TCNs keep the momentum going, we do run these events for non-TCN portals. So our next upcoming campaign is for Ecdysis, and that is not a portal with a TCN, but that's the first one we're doing like this. So the strategy for these events is to have some sustained focus attention for a 1-month interval on a specific portal community. Practically speaking, what this ends up looking like is we'll have a series of 4 virtual office hours with synchronous and asynchronous opportunities for participation. And then we'll document everything for future reference. People can come back to it and look everything over again later on if they couldn't participate now or they want to see something twice. In our first meeting, we usually cover introductions. So we'll give people a chance to meet us, their portal managers, if they haven't met them yet, and for people to meet each other. We'll talk about portal history, portal housekeeping, metadata upkeep, and then we'll also kind of see if there's anybody out there who maybe isn't actively involved in the portal community, but might be a good candidate too. So for example, what this housekeeping means and metadata upkeep would entail is like, we'll teach people how to do things like update the contacts on their portal. So when things get published at GBIF later on, the collections or the contacts rather are correct. Also teach people to do things like, how do you back up your data? A lot of people aren't necessarily aware there's a button you can hit to back up your data. It's something we stress is very important, and it's an easy thing to show people in this first meeting. Our second meeting is usually focused on data quality. So this is where we teach people how to use their taxonomic cleaning tool and geographic cleaning tools built into their portals. If the portal manager requests it, we might cover a more custom topic. But the idea is in the second meeting, we're going to start teaching people how to actually use their portals. And then the third meeting is usually about data publishing. So we'll provide an overview of the data publishing ecosystem. We'll talk about why would you want to publish your data? How do you publish your data? What are your options? And then for first-time data publishers, we offer endorsement services because as of 2022, the Symbiota Support Hub is a GBIF node. Something that happens behind the scenes, so before the actual meetings take place, is Katie and I will go into a portal and we'll kind of do an assessment of the state of the portal and see where we can help the portal most during the campaign. Like we'll obviously ask the portal managers what they want us to do, but this also gives us a sense for things where we can help out a little bit more. So we will use this information to help craft a series of personalized emails to individuals who are part of the portal community that'll summarize data quality statistics and offer data publishing assistance if somebody's not publishing their data. And so this gives people another chance in addition to the meetings to reach out and work with us on improving their data in the portal, getting it published to GBIF or IDIC-Bio, and just opening the door for them to come talk to us if maybe they're more comfortable interacting through that type of engagement. Sometimes on request, we'll cover custom campaign topics. So, I mentioned our first meeting is about introductions, second's usually about data quality, and the third's about data publishing. But our campaigns don't exclusively follow that formula. So, for example, this month we're working with the Big B Library, and their campaign is following a completely different format, and we're actually focusing more on getting new collections into their portal. Other topics that have been requested include crowdsourcing, bulk importing taxonomy, how to create checklists and data sets, and then some portal communities have requested assistance with harvesting duplicate georeferences from other collections in their portal. An important part of the campaigns is engaging with portal managers. So many Symbiota portal communities actually have sort of a point person who's voluntarily running the portal and answering a lot of questions behind the scenes. And this is a lot of work. But this is the individual usually that community members know and trust the most. And so we like to work with them to help make sure the campaigns are as effective as possible for their given portal community. And we also like to stress that, we're here to assist portal managers, but we're not there to replace them. Like I mentioned, people are usually doing this activity out of the goodness of their own hearts, and it can be a lot of work. So we're happy to provide that assistance when they need it, but we like the community to know that this individual knows you best and we're not there to replace them. So what have we accomplished together? So in the last year or so, year and a half, we've completed 10 portal advancement campaigns. We're actually in the middle of the 10th right now. Our 11th is scheduled for November. And as of last week, we completed 40 virtual office hours in this series, which has been quite a milestone for us. That was kind of exciting. Starting in February of last year, we started working with the CERNIC community. Then in May, we worked with the Southern Rocky Mountain Herbaria TCN. We worked with the macroalgae portal community, mycoportal, Territoportal, and Torch. So this was all last year. And then this year we worked with the Mid-Atlantic Herbaria, the Midwest Herbaria, the Arizona, New Mexico chapter of SciNet, currently working with the Bee Library. And then in November, we'll be working with Ichthyosis. So we've been really excited by the turnout to these events. Without the support and active participation of our portal community members, none of this would have been possible. We've learned a few things along the way, that is for sure. So for example, a lot of our community members are out on collecting trips during the summer, so it's generally been better to conduct these events during the school year. And with every campaign, you refine how you might explain something or approach a topic a little bit differently as you move through future campaigns. And while we've been able to really increase the numbers with respect to data shared to Symbiota portals along the way, the takeaway here is that the strategy of taking these little sprints, these 1 month sprints, has been quite effective. By dedicating 1 month to a portal, we can accomplish a lot together. And over time, the results have really added up. So one metric that we're especially proud of is the turnout of new data publishers. In the past year or so, we've been able to help over 40 collections mobilize their data to GBIF. So, now that this data publishing pipeline is set up during the campaign, these collections can continue publishing and refreshing their data on GBIF very quickly and easily. And one thing we do at the end of the campaigns is we send out this little summary newsletter with links and summaries of our accomplishments so that people can save this for future reference. So say there was part of the campaign they couldn't participate in now because they were too busy or they just didn't have time or whatnot. All of that information is sort of at their fingertips if they want to revisit in the future or come back to it later on if they want to reclean their data. All of that information is summarized nicely so that they can get to it when they want to come back to it again later on. And a few portals have already gone beyond the portal campaigns and they've presented on their portals at professional meetings since we've met with them. So I want to give a shout out to the CERNet community, as well as the macroalgae portal community and the myco portal portal managers. You all are awesome. Thanks for taking these posters out and trying to grow your portals. We are really impressed by this. So in conclusion, while these events are largely about community engagement, it's not just about helping TCNs check off their to-do lists, although that is certainly part of it. There's also a social aspect of giving these communities space to come together in a common forum to check in with each other, ask questions in an informal setting, and empower them to continue working on their digitization goals during the campaigns and beyond. We try really hard throughout these campaigns to promote a supportive environment. So as you're probably familiar, not everybody is comfortable raising their Zoom hand. So we try to offer as many avenues for engagement as possible, be it through email, through one-on-one help, or through the actual virtual office hours themselves. Again, we stress that documenting everything before, during, and after is really important so that people can revisit this and it helps promote the sustainability of the activities into the future. And so this is one model for workforce development and sustaining our communities of practice. It's worked well for the hub. And we will continue to build upon and improve these as we move forward in the future. And I'd just like to say these events will not be done this year. We'll have more coming in 2024. And if you are a Symbiota community member or portal manager and you're watching, you're thinking, hey, maybe my portal community could benefit from one of these events, please consider reaching out to us at help@symbiota.org and we can talk about it. Lastly, thank you to our portal managers and our campaign participants who have come to our meetings, responded to our emails, and generally been very supportive of our portal campaign series. It's been a pleasure getting to know you all, some of whom are probably in the audience today, and the Hub sincerely looks forward to meeting your community training, data mobilization, and other Symbiota-related needs into the future. Thanks, everybody.